Yo, yo, yo! This is Arthur Keenan, the undisputed champ with the new UK belt champ, the international champ. So we got a special guest. I got my brother and my co-host AV. Come man, bring you in, and then we'll bring our guests. How you feeling, my bro?
I appreciate you. Yo, what's good, Fee? Thanks for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure to come in. Y'all know me already, but I go by the name of AV, aka Alpha Villains, Mr. Weekday Mornings. I got a morning show. Tune in, man. Finish your breakfast with AV, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for having me on, man. Let's chop up this game, bro.
Cool. As me, Alpha Kingdom, you already know. And then we got our guest. Go ahead and let you know who you are, my bro.
What's up? I'm Celtics. I'm a Tulsa rapper from Tulsa, Oklahoma. 918 represent for sure.
Cool. So a pleasure to meet you, my bro. So let's get to it. How'd you start in the music business? How'd you start? How'd your craft go? What were your dreams and aspirations? Let's get to it.
So I'm gonna kind of start it back when I went partying as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go out and I'd just go out to these wild house parties, and I'd always see these people just rapping in a circle. So I figured I'd kind of just give that a shot, and I started that at about 14, 15. To about I was 21 years old, and then I kind of went out to a show, and I've only been doing it seriously for like 3 years, and so far I've pushed 6.5 million all-time streams between every platform, a following of at least 60 plus K. We really making moves out here in Tulsa for real.
That's awesome.
That's what's up, my brother. You got the millions of streams. I guess I gotta. You know what? You can give me the game too, because I think have you ever heard of Fresh and Fit?
Yeah, I think I've heard the name.
Okay, no, because the guy Fresh Prince CEO, he's a real popular guy. He said that it was easier for him to get his blue check during the music route from the content route. Because even though he does content on YouTube, he has a podcast, all of this. He said he went the music route. He put a song out, and he said it was much easier that way.
Well, it took me 6 months to really get my blue check because I was trying it for months on end. I mean, I couldn't figure it out the route, so I started getting major publications through myself, like National Press Release, Worldwide Press Release, stuff like Billboard Hip Hop. You know, all of the hip hop blogs and stuff like that are going to be eligible to perceive you as a public interest.
Sure, validate you.
To validate you in that aspect. So, as an artist, like my main thing was I got a website, which I was looking up all throughout the internet. And my main thing to tell people is get you a website where you own the domain, claim your Google Knowledge panel, and get major publication for yourself. And that's really kind of the route I took, and that's kind of how I got my blue check. I have thousands of major publications already, so I mean, it did take me quite a bit. Let me
ask you this, Celtics, the blue check, because everybody, that's the ultimate. That's like the end goal, right? The end game. You said it took 6 months. Now, can you go a little bit deeper as far as what did those 6 months entail? Because a lot of people want a blue check because we know what comes along with it. But what can you share with some of the audience members? Like, what is actual 6 months in that grind and get that publication took you and entailed?
My 6 months entailed of constantly, for one, posting content. You want to keep your audience in interaction with your content. Sure. You don't want to keep going weeks and weeks without posting no content because that doesn't keep people following you.
Right.
For one, that keeps your interactions low because Instagram looks at that whenever they're trying to verify you as well. It's not just the publications. Your Instagram has to have some kind of engagement and people viewing your content. So the more content you post, the better. Definitely months of publication. I was investing in National Press Release $200-300 a month. I mean, maybe every 2 months, I would say $200-300, just to make sure I had enough publications for myself to validate me in that aspect. Right. You don't have to spend that much. There's a lot of other cheaper routes, but I did it more the worldwide national press release wise. So I'm going throughout UK, Canada, United States. I mean, it's going worldwide rather than just locally.
Well, let me ask you one more question real quick. Yeah. Does your self-belief in yourself correlate with the route that you're taking to go worldwide? Because you could be the most popular guy in Tulsa, but you could have just stopped right there. You could have just been popping in the United States, but you took an interesting route to go worldwide. Is that a correlation with your self-belief of yourself? You know what I'm saying?
So with my self-belief is I want to, as an artist, you see all of this propaganda, you see all of these conspiracies, and in my personal aspect, I believe some of that is true.
Sure.
So me as an artist, I don't want to spread that propaganda. I don't want to spread the major label propaganda. I don't want to spread anything that aspect. So my attention that I want to get worldwide is I want a worldwide audience to see the impact that I'm making, that my team's making, that our artists are making out here as well. Not only locally, not only just in our country, but worldwide as well. Because I feel like sometime soon this world is going to need some positive energy and need nothing but love. Love only goes a certain way in some aspect in some people's eyes, but I want love to go worldwide because I feel like that's the best way to do it. And if we all support each other, we can all gain from that. And that'd be a better community for not only the hip hop scene, but the music scene in general. So that's kind of the message we try to go with worldwide. So if I want people to recognize me worldwide, I want to go worldwide so they can recognize who I am as an artist first. But that gets their attention first, and then I can start spreading what my agenda is to spread positivity, spread support, and spread love.
Cool.
So you get that worldwide audience.
Yeah, you want an independent grind. You know, it reminds me of like Spring Breaker, like a small town, but you got that shit popping. You seen Spring Breakers?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a great movie. Yeah.
So me and my business partner, man, we got a label out here, bro. Like we got our own label. We got about 6 artists on it right now. You know, they're popping up. They're doing the same thing, and we're pushing them in the same aspect.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Let's talk about the industry scene a little bit, about just the grind and what it takes. And let's talk about the women too, because I know I can say what's the difference between you talking to these women on the street or you talking to these women with the clout of you being the rapper? What's the difference?
See, I don't really associate with a lot of women because I mean it just, I don't know. I look at it as an aspect because if you're at a show, right, and you got women out in the crowd, they there all prettied up, you know, stuff like that, because they're out here to see a show. They're out here to see some rappers. No, I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10, you know, because there may not be a lot of females like that, but there's a lot of the time that a lot of the females out there, maybe not all of them, but they're out there for one thing and they're looking to catch a rapper baby daddy. So, I mean, I don't really associate myself in a lot of females. I try to focus myself. I mean, I got a girl already, so I mean, it's pretty just laid back. It's pretty just mellow. I don't like to get caught up in that limelight of just females out here because I don't like, what are y'all going to do for me other than kind of keep me from my grind and keep me from doing what I'm doing? You know what I mean?
Look at that. We was going on the freeway toward the wild side. Now we're taking a quick exit for the girl exit.
Yeah. So I gotta go to the bathroom. Stop.
We going on the girl exit. We got girlfriend exit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
HOV lane, man. We're going in the slow lane. All right, that's cool.
I'm going to chill it out. And I'm going to work it out.
All right, so let me ask you this. So let me flip it on you then, because now you got 6.5 million streams. You know what I mean? You grinded. You got 6 artists. You got your own label. Has there been a shift in your girl's behavior? Is she a little bit more insecure or is she acting more compliant?
She said, grind it out, baby. Grind it out. She's trying to get that money too. You know what I mean? She's trying to get that money too.
Let's go.
She said, grind it out. We in it for winning. Shit. Motivation, manifesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it's tricky. You know what I mean? Like, I was even talking to AB about this on another day. Like, you know, when you're trying to be an entrepreneur, and it's a little different when you are dating someone and you make the transition to doing it than when you're meeting somebody in the transition. You see what I'm saying? So like, I can have women who I knew before YouTube. They see the growth, they see the shit, but it's different when I meet someone and I'm trying to sell them on the potential. Not that I'm trying to sell them, but just putting the potential out there. Because, for instance, I can tell a chick I do podcasts and shit, right? And she could be like, haha, that's cute. Well, guess what? I know people on my phone that make like 100,000 per month doing the same shit that I'm doing. See, but they're not gonna make that connection because they don't know. You see what I'm saying? She's like, oh, what's up with the principal shit? Did you hear what I said? I said I know motherfuckers making 100,000 a month.
You heard what I said?
You feel me?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be hard to find somebody you could really connect to that just really gets it on that aspect. I mean, luckily I found one for real. Like, so I'm not gonna lie on it. It is hard to find somebody out there that is on the same mindset that you are, especially being a male and female role. Like that is hard to find that, but it's not impossible either. So.
You said something really important, and we touch on this a lot, Afi and I, on our shows and collectively and individually. You said something about roles. Let me ask you this, man. Let's talk about it. Unpack it from your perspective. What's the role? What's the man's role and what's the woman's role? And how do you think men should, maintain their relationships if they're in one? Do roles play a big factor?
Well, roles, I really don't put it in like. Females can do anything they want to do. Let me tell you something. Like we grind together. Like I'm grinding, she's grinding. Like, and that's just in the same aspect. She can be doing anything she wants to do. So there's no fine line between, I would say, what a male's supposed to do and a female's supposed to do. I say grind together. Like y'all can grind equally in the same aspect. Everybody's good at something.
Let me ask you this though. Let me flip it. So you're absolutely right. I agree with that 1,000%. But do you guys grind the same? Because can you grind the same to accomplish the same goal? It's like quarterbacks, right? One quarterback, and then you got a running back and shit like that. So who carries the burden more? Do you grind more, even though y'all grinding together? Do you grind more?
I feel like we grind equally, honestly, because I'm good. There's stuff that I'm good at that helps our grind, and there's stuff that she's good at that helps our grind, and it levels it out equally every time.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, man, to each his own, bro. I hear what you're saying, man. That's, for me, I find it very difficult to find a woman that matches my grind.
It is hard.
You know what I'm saying? So you're very fortunate because a lot of women,
I am.
You're very fortunate, and God bless, man. We don't discourage guys for finding their happiness or finding what works for them. But for me, I find that it's very difficult to find someone that can match my grind. So as a result of that, a lot of times I like to take the burden off of the grind that it is required to be a record label mogul, a rapper, an entertainer, an author, shit like that. So for me, what works for me is that it's kind of understood that I'm going to grind a little bit more, but because I'm grinding a little bit more, I'm going to expect you to do this. So it's kind of like one hand washes the other type of thing for me. That's what works for me, bro.
See, I grind hard. She grinds just as hard. So gotcha. It's hard to find. It's hard to find it. That's damn near unheard of. Like,
right, you got a unicorn over there. We got to go to Oklahoma, Afi.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
we got to go to Oklahoma, bro.
That's some big booty freaks there, or what?
Bro,
let's go.
Hey,
what's wrong?
There's some freaky Oklahoma chicks down here. Let me tell you.
You're giving me the answers if you don't say it. You still giving me the answers.
Right. You almost made him scroll off the road. He said, hold up.
There's some freaky ones down here, let me tell you.
Yo, we got to pull up.
Do some weird ass shit you wouldn't even think of.
That's cool. What about like your upbringing? Were you always like in the music and stuff like that, or did it come a little later?
Music. I could play any instrument by ear since as long as I can. Oh,
that's awesome.
Like, so kind of recording and mixing my own stuff. I mean, I guess I just kind of come with all of that. Like when it came to my marketing, I've done everything myself. I've marketed everything myself. I've ran ads myself. Like, and everything that I've accumulated come from marketing and everything doing it myself.
Sure. You know what's interesting about that, and I like that model, but for me right now, because I'm relatively small, I can't justify outsourcing anything yet. But what I will say is that, sometimes do you find it, because you have a girl and you're grinding, you wear so many hats, you ever think about outsourcing it? You know what I mean? So you can free up some more time for your creativity or to build your other brand. Because marketing, I do it myself too. Marketing, my reels, I do everything. And it takes me all day. But, it's something that's a cost that I have to do to try to build my brand. So when do you find time?
The way I kind of just equal out my time is like a lot of people will just they'll focus on you really want to try to get multiple aspects. And a lot of people think of the marketing, the multiple aspects kind of sense, like you want to market one thing, market the next. So they all are marketed equally. I kind of focus on mainly one thing at a time. Like I'm taking little steps at a time. Like if I want to market my social media, I'm going to focus on my social media. If I want to market my music, I'm going to focus on my music. I'm going to focus on marketing that. And I typically only do that when I'm doing on releases.
Gotcha.
So typically I'll focus on my social media aspects. Like typically if I want to get a following, get my followers up, I'm going to run some ads. I'm going to run stuff like that, get my followers up, get new people engaged, and just doing simple posts, new content, and get that kind of people focusing on my content to where I don't have to market my music as much because they're kind of already seeing it from my content anyway.
Do you let your lady, or just, when you say you guys work together and you grind hard, how much influence does she have in the way that you manage your music, your business side?
She manages half of it. Like I'm not good at managing. She does all of that shit, and she's a boss doing it.
Nice. So what about your influences? What influences you to put your tracks? Is she a muse? Does she influence you sometimes? You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and if it don't really sound right, she's the one that's gonna tell me it don't sound right.
Yeah,
and then I'm going back and I'm doing it again because like her playlist already, it'd be some inspirational people like, oh my goodness, like R.I.P. King Von, like all of them, bro. Like her playlist goes through a whole different aspect of people like Mo3, Boosie. I mean, it's just many idols and legends that you could probably think of. Her playlist is like that.
Gotcha.
So
she's got a good ear. She's got a good ear for music.
She's got a good ear for the hip hop for sure. Like she's turned on her playlist. I first met her. I'm like, man, I don't know where you came from, honestly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: How old are you, bro?
I'm 26.
26. So let me ask you this: how has it been dealing with the haters and also dealing with family members and friends who really wasn't supporting you?
Man, so anything. This is all I have to say about haters. And haters, a lot of them are the people that very first started with you. Like, if you look at it in an aspect, it's the ones that were supporting you in the beginning.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like, when you first started, think of the people that were supporting you when you first started, right? And now look at it now. A lot of them may not even fuck with you no more.
That's a real one. That's a good one,
and
buddy.
I've had so many, bro. Like even recently, I had to write a diss track on a dude. I don't write diss tracks. I hate fucking diss tracks. What the fuck? I'm not Eminem. I'm not about to diss nobody back and forth because that keeps me from doing and focusing on my goal of what I'm trying to do.
Good.
But it came down to an aspect to where it just got too personal, and I had to say something.
Let's go.
So
that's why I like having these conversations, because what you said is true. But I never really thought about it like that. Like,
me too.
And it's like, okay, boom. So I could kind of remix that. Like, the haters are your beginners.
There's only certain day ones that'll stay with you.
Yeah, I'm teaching myself through your lessons, player. That's the picture.
Out of 90 people that probably I can probably name 90 people that I remember when I first started, and only 6 of them out of 90 people are probably only riding with me right now.
Watch this. Let me pull a lecture out of this. Let me give you a monologue. So watch this. Peep this. So now I figured it out. I figured out the haters. So look, boom. The haters are really a translation. The beginners. The beginners don't stick to support because they only support you as your friend. They don't support you as where you really trying to be. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a rapper, well, I'm a podcaster, they're just supporting Afi. They're not supporting the podcaster or the author. So when Afi becomes the podcaster and the author, now I no longer see them.
Yeah.
Right. No longer Afi to them. Right.
Got you niggas now. Figured y'all out. See? Thanks. Yeah. So that's how it goes. Yep. So they only support you when they don't think that you're really going to make it. So then it's going to be like, hey, I gave you your support. Now come back to doing what we were doing.
Until you make it.
But then when you make it, it's just like, oh, he's fucking serious now. He may leave me now.
But you've been saying it the whole time.
I hire this now and get another higher girlfriend or a movie star friend. I get it now.
I'm telling you. I'll be thinking this shit through. I have too much time on my hands. I'll be doing a lot.
So where do you want to take it? So, you guys are building your artists. Well, let me ask you this. Artists, you're dealing with 6 different artists, 6 different personalities, 6 different egos. You being so young and your business partner, how do you keep that cohesiveness? How do you keep that energy positive and consistently flowing with ideas? Because it's got to be difficult, because sometimes I work with different people. I get impatient, but I'm an older dude. I'm a little grumpy. But how do you manage people's expectations and their egos and shit while you're trying to keep them creative?
So the good thing about my business partner's been doing it for over 13 plus years. He was the first one that gave me my first show. So shout out to Spades, the middle prep god. He created his own genre. He put me on. He's been in it for 13 plus years. So it's kind of easier, with him being the partner as well, helping managing the artist and helping a lot in that aspect. I do handle most of the marketing parts, publishings, any major blog placements. I handle all of those aspects because I have the connections for that. And he hands more of the branding sides of artists, imagery sides of artists, and show bookings. We do kind of the show bookings together. But dealing with their different personal aspects, I just try to find each artist. I listen kind of what they sound like. And a lot of artists is a good thing about our label. We're kind of bringing artists from the ground up. These are people that may not even touched an instrument, but they kind of just started doing it. And I mean, they're excelling, they're leveling right now it's out of this world. So we're kind of building that. I have an artist named Young B. Dude's never touched an instrument before in his life, never touched a microphone, never has sang, never has rapped, never done nothing. And this dude just wrote the most insanely rap verse I can think of in my life. And it was quite impressive. Nice. And we're bringing artists from the ground up. The only established artist we have is probably one of the most dopest female artists in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Her name's Queen Ace. Shout out to her. Y'all can definitely check her out on all platforms. And I highly recommend it. But these artists, some of them have established, but these new artists, we find out what their sound is. We try to get them to where they can find their own artist sound. You know what I mean? Because we all had to find our own artist sound if we're artists. So we had to find our own thing and find our own niche and find our own audiences based off of how we sound. So we're definitely at the point right now to where we got them to that point. We're getting their sound down, and they're on the move. I'm telling you.
That's awesome. I'm originally from. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry if you got a question.
I was just gonna say real quick. Now you got two cats that's gonna do your skits now. See, now we can do the.
I'm telling you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a whole fact.
And just be like, yeah, and then put the song in. Let us talk our shits.
Word. Yo, so it's crazy. I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
Afi's from the Bay. Do you feel like, because when you think of hip hop, and I don't mean this with no disrespect, you don't really hear OKC, right? You don't hear Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Do you feel like you have something to prove? Is that channeling or making you more aggressive with your music, your label? Do you feel like you have something to prove to the hip hop to introduce the world of Oklahoma? You know what I'm saying? We not nothing to fuck with and shit.
I wouldn't say it's nothing to prove. We humble now. Now, when it comes to Tulsa, when it comes to 918, when it comes to Oklahoma in general, there's so many artists out here that are probably better than artists you would see come out of Atlanta, that you would see come out of LA, that you would see come out of New York, and these people are popping. I don't feel like Tulsa has its recognition that it should. Or with OKC, I know so many banger OKC artists that are out right now, and I feel like we're very we're overlooked a lot. And I think it's because you hear Tulsa, you think of the first thing you think of is First 48.
Right.
First thing you think of is Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're not even known for all of these artists out here. They're out here grinding.
Right.
And so that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's really nothing to prove. I would say it's more of, we're trying to take these artists out here. We're trying to get to a certain level to where we can start bringing in more artists and taking them out there and getting them recognized and getting them seen and getting them to where they can either, if they want to get signed, they can. I personally don't deal with the major label. They can keep, with artists on ours, they keep all of their masters. They keep all of that. We're not trying to pull this major label bullshit.
I hear you, man. Yeah, keep that.
Everybody can make their money and make it equally.
That's awesome. So, you want to put yourself on the map, get that respect that you guys deserve.
Oh God! And we're not trying to keep artists the work that they put in, the time to write it, the time to record it. We're not trying to take their masters. We're not trying to take their ownership. We don't want none of that.
Sure.
We're trying to push them in an aspect to where they can do it themselves. They don't need a major label. They could put that money up in their pocket, and they can run and be just as big as the next celebrity out here.
I like that business model because you whatever you put in, you get out of.
I swear.
So you can't blame me if you don't sell records, you're not touring and shit. That's on you. I gave you the tools, I gave you everything, and that's a very important message for a lot of guys. And you being so young, that business model is kind of unheard of because you know, they want to make sure that they keep everything and they kind of feed you scraps. What you're doing is the opposite way. And it's really telling because young people don't have that type of, it's crazy. It's like young people want money, but they don't want to do what it takes to get money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you punish a kid right now and say, I'm not going to give you no money, they don't know the value of money. So you saying to an artist, you could be as big as you want to be based on the business model. I think that's very telling because that allows you to see who really wants it and who doesn't. And the niggas that don't want it,
and
they
that's
get to go.
The artist we want.
Right.
That's the artist we want. So here's a little thing. Here's a little twist on it. We'll put our money into an artist. We put our money into our artist, right? But the artists are expected to have some kind of monthly budget, and we'll match it. So when we start getting to a certain point to where these artists are accumulating so much money off of royalties, their monthly budget goes up. The more their monthly budget goes up, our monthly budget goes up, and the more we put in on their monthly budget.
Yeah.
We're going to match it every time. You have a $10,000 monthly budget, I'm going to match it evenly. You'll have a $20,000 monthly budget. And we're going to match it every time because everybody can make money equally. We're going to do this shit equally.
It sounds right. It sounds right.
So we're trying to give artists the opportunity to blow all the way up. You get to keep your work. We're not trying to own nobody. Like you're going to put in the work however much you want to put into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, it's like you're the landlord and you're leasing them out the opportunity, and they get and they get all of our connections. They utilize all of our connections, like a barber chair. Yeah. I feel you. I'm with
you.
So
the moment they get to making money and they're no longer in contract with us, they just done accumulated all this money and they got to keep it in their pockets, and now they can utilize the connections that they just got from us, and we all made money in the process doing it.
Hey man, you got a nice plan, a nice head on your shoulders, and a nice woman that's gonna love you and take you all the way to the top. So let's drop some last words on these guys. Just give them some last words. Let me like three gems that these guys can live with. You know what I'm saying, as far as getting into the industry and mindset wise, and then just go ahead and tell the people what you have coming up and where they can find you.
So my final words to any artist out there, like you can do anything you put your mind to. You can accumulate any connections you put your mind to. Hustle, hard work, manifest, and I promise you'll succeed. What we got coming up, I got some projects coming up. I got an EP with Chris Calico. I got about 6 tracks on that. Chris Calico does music with Strange Music. So I got a whole EP coming up with him. We'll have some new events coming up. Y'all stay tuned on my social medias. We'll be posting about new events, new projects. My business partner got a project with 42 Doug coming, Rick Ross, Dizzy Wright, Sean Kingston. So he has those projects coming, so you can tap them with him. Spades, Metal Trap God. You find us on all platforms. You find me on all platforms.
Tell them again. Let them know again where they can find you specifically.
You can find me on Spotify, all music platforms, CELTIXX. You can also Google that. Instagram is I Am Celtics. Facebook, you can just search in the search bar CELTIXX. It'll bring up my verified page. I am blue checked.
Nice.
So y'all know who I am. Instagram and Facebook. So
that's what's up.
Cool, man. Appreciate having you, man, and look forward to having you again. I host panels and stuff like that, so I definitely send you a invite. And to put your friends on. Tell them about Afi Kingdom. Tell them about how to us.
Hey, I'm gonna send my business partner y'all boy next.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Good luck to you, man. Like Afi said, man, you got a good head on your shoulders. It's nice to see that you have a plan. I hope that things flourish and work out for you, man. You know, we grind it out all the time, and so we're welcome to have you. You know, we're looking forward to your new music and having you back on, man.
Most definitely. I appreciate y'all for real.
Appreciate you.
Cool. AB, check out what you got going.
Peace, guys. I appreciate everybody. Please make sure you guys subscribe to my channel at Alpha Villains. I got a Instagram at Alpha Villains. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about why Americans are not ready for the war that's coming. There's a war that's brewing. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. Tune in 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Cool. As for me, y'all follow me on Instagram, international.afi, and follow the book site, Afi Kingdom Books. I got 3 books dropping this month, so y'all stay tuned for that. And if you need some coaching, hit me at dominancemindset.org, man. And watch out, bro. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.